Hey, Coach. First off, congrats on the win.
Thank you, Jamie. Congrats to all Coug fans, and that student section sure is impressive. 2 weeks in a row.
You guys, it seemed like early on in the second quarter switched to kind of more of a up-tempo offense, and it really seemed to open some things up. Was that kind of a design to kind of try and get a little more pace to the offense and try and and try and get Portland State on their heels?
Yes.
What did you guys kind of see when you saw that first drive go so well and say, is this something we can really weaponize?
Well, I think so. I think that's part of it. I think that was in our plans. First game we didn't catch rhythm early. This game we didn't catch a lot of rhythm early offensively. I think Jaden plays good at that pace, and I think it kind of calms things down defensively. They executed pretty well, and I think it was very effective today.
I was going to ask, do you think that pace of play kind of fits Jaden a little bit better than maybe a slower one?
It's worth an argument around the water cooler, no doubt. I think we did a lot getting ready for Utah State just to give the defense some looks, and and initially it was to try to help the D get ready for it, but started seeing it being fairly effective for us too. So some discussions going on, and Stutz has come from a tempo background, so it's good to have him on staff with his knowledge about it. Is that it, Jamie?
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Thanks, Coach.
Okay. Thank you, guys.
Thanks. All right, Coach. Next question is going to be Colton Clark from the Spokesman Review. Go ahead, Colton.
Hey, Coach, I'm just wondering how important was this game, do you think, in winning smoothly like this to help just the team's confidence going forward?
Well, I think it's better this way than what it could have been, right? I mean, we could have played better. Early in that fourth quarter, we talked a lot about finishing the game at halftime and kind of gotten a little bit of lull. Wanted to see what Victor Gabales could do. 3 passes, no time off the clock. But I thought I had confidence that he could make the plays. But yeah, it's a good way to win, especially because there's a very, very similar feeling last week when it was tight early and kind of going back and forth a little bit with not a lot of scoring. That was when that reminded me of last week, and so we wanted to make sure we addressed that but from the position coaches and go play free and go have fun.
Do you have any update on Jalen Watson? I saw that he was over on the sideline, and on that as well, you're all concerned about your secondary depth going forward?
I don't have any updates. Probably won't have them for a few days, and even if I do, I'm not sure I'd give them to you. But we got Caleb came in, played well. Fonts came in and made a play or two, a tackle at the end of the game. Thanks, Bill. Shaw, I think, made some really clutch plays. I think it starting the year with some depth in that area was beneficial, and getting some guys in this game, I think, is going to serve us well as we head into the season, or the starting Pac-12 play, and some, I think, 7 more before a bye. So got to get it done.
How much do you feel like the team, entered maybe with an edge today, played with a little extra energy, wanting to prove something, wanting to prove that they shouldn't be, defined by last week?
I don't think emotionally they're really up and down. I think it's going to be a confidence boost for them. Maybe going back to maybe your earlier question or Jamie's question, to win fairly convincingly, even though we could have been better. I think that always helps. It's a nice feeling, and that quarterback is good now. That and those receivers, I think Barney does a good job. That quarterback is a tough one, and I don't know if you remember the play he made when he was basically sacked and then found the running back. I mean, he does that once or twice a game on film. And I just think he has a lot of grit, and it's a good player.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Coach, next question is going to be Brenna Green from Spokane TV. Go ahead, Brenna.
Hi, Coach. Congratulations.
Thanks,
Did
Brenna.
you kind of make it more of a concerted effort this week to establish the run after last week's performance?
I think we took out some kind of pre-snap decisions for the quarterback. I don't think we were great with those last week when we should have handed it off, and we threw it. We basically, that's what happened. We threw it too much when we should have handed it off. So we kind of eliminated that thought process and just said, let's give them more opportunities where we just hand the ball off. So I guess the answer to your question is yes.
And just generally, what are your thoughts on Jaden's performance this week compared to last week's performance?
Even better. I think he's really settling in. And there's some things that happen in a football game when you have a QB. He made some throws that I had to close my eyes on. That one to Calvin. What a great catch he made. But he has a way of keeping the defense on their toes. But I thought the way he was locked in and his suggestions, and I don't know. I was struggling a little bit with end of game etiquette, whether to kick that field goal or go for it on fourth down. But when Jaden Delora says, "Coach, let's go for it," I said, "Okay, what do you want to run then?" And he calls the last touchdown play. I think his mindset's in a good place.
And just also, when Travell Harris has a game like he had today, does that kind of help lift up the sideline a little bit since he is such a charismatic guy out there?
I think so. I think, and then not just in the, receiving. I mean, he was great in all his returns. He's such a dynamic player and such a dynamic personality. It's very infectious. And so I'm very happy for him because he's worked hard, switching offenses, investing in it, mentally believing in it. And he's another one that's got a really mature sense of the game and just general. I don't know if I have the way to explain it, but he may be a head coach someday.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Coach.
Yep. You're welcome.
All right. Any other questions for Coach Rolovich? Please raise your hand. We'll call on you. Coach, you got a couple more. Joe McHale, Spokane TV. Go ahead, Joe.
Coach, congrats on the win. Just curious, just to add on with Delora, you think him going into today knowing that he was start helps with confidence?
It helps with my confidence, probably, but I think he's playing the position much better. He went in as a starter last year. I think the growth in a year is maybe it's not as evident to the fans because he did a lot of special things athletically and made some good throws last year. But I think it's much different this year. And I'm happy he's having success. I mean, he plays a position at a school that's heralded, makes a mistake, eats the mistake, fights through all the stuff you go through when the limelight's on you, and did it with incredible maturity. And to come out and play well, it's a really good thing to see. It shows what this game can do for young men.
And last one for me, just in the second half or the fourth quarter there, Victor came in for a little bit. Is there a reason Cam didn't come in to take the snaps? Was it just what you saw from Victor during the week, or is Cam dealing with a little bit of an injury?
No, I think Victor had a really good week. Now, I don't think he had a great performance out there. But we got to catch the first one. He gets the second one knocked down, and he almost throws a pick on the third one. So he apologized. I told him this is not an apology, but he had a pretty good week, and we wanted to, I just think he'd been impressive throughout camp. We're going to play either one of them. We told them both to be ready. Wanted to see what he was all about when he got in there.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, Coach, you got quite a few coming up. All right, Dale Grummert. Go ahead, Dale. The Lewiston Tribune.
Nick, a little rotation at right guard. Was Fafita showing you something in practice?
Good eyes there, Dale. I like your style. Nothing gets by you. Kind of the Swiss Army knife for us with Brian Green not available. There was a lot of roles that Maake could have played in this game, and I know he played in some right guard. And also, I don't know that he may have played a series at left tackle. I don't remember, but he's incredibly valuable to us. And asking him to learn those, really, he's could go in at left guard, right guard, or left tackle. And he's had a tremendous improvement since spring. I thought he started getting some confidence in spring. Happy for him. Wanted to get him experience. He's a different player than Cade. So it switches up the look a little bit and get him some experience. I thought was well orchestrated by Coach Weber.
And Ice, has he had much cross training at nickel lately?
I think he's such a smart football player that he probably cross trains in his mind daily. He knows how things work together. Incredibly athletic, can play probably 5 DB positions for us. Came here as a corner, lines up at one-on-one at corner for some one-on-one work during the weeks. It's how much he cares. It's not, he's a great athlete, great teammate, all that stuff, but he cares a lot. And I think he loves football. I think he's really connected with Coach Banks. And the good thing about, to add on to your question, they're in the same meeting room. So there's some, I know you said crossover, but the pieces fit in his brain probably because he's in that meeting room and it's important to him.
Thank you, Nick.
Thank you, Dale. Good observations.
We have time for 2 more. All right, John Blanchette, spokesman review. Go ahead, John.
Nick, the tenor of competition changes next week with USC coming in. The tenor of competition changes next week with USC coming in. How do you feel about where your team is right now? Where do you think it is?
We're going to enjoy this one. We obviously know that USC is coming in next week. And not that Portland State wasn't a challenge, because this was emotionally, we had to get ourselves stable and go out and play well and finish this game. But we know that USC is very talented. We know that the challenge is going to be there. I think Clay and those guys, feel they're playing for something. The Cougs feel that way too. So we're going to concentrate on one game a week. I think I'm not even sure what happened with their score today, but I thought last year we kind of, first quarter was pretty horrendous. We kind of settled in and did some decent things, keeping it pretty even ball game the rest of the way. So I'm sure they'll have some stuff. DC is good. Athletes are good. That I don't even know if you call him a slot receiver. Drake is got tight end skills and big wide receiver target. And the quarterback's a great player. Remember when we offered him out of high school. So they will pose a challenge. There's no doubt.
All right, Coach. Last one's going to be Theo Lawson, spokesman review. Go ahead, Theo.
You're kind of echoing Bobby the Painter.
Hey, can you hear me there?
Oh yeah, you sound great, Theo.
Okay. Perfect. Thank you. I wanted to ask about Dion, who obviously had, I think, 64 yards and on eight carries, averaging 8 yards per carry, and also the chance to get Nakia Watson out on the field in the fourth quarter and see what he can kind of do in a game setting.
What is your question?
Yeah. So just what did you kind of see from Dion, and what was he seeing out there that allowed him to be so efficient? And was it also nice to have an opportunity to see Nakia out there?
Yes, it was good to get Nakia in. I think Dion proved so much to me last week. For a guy who had the majority of the carries last year when Max was down, and I don't remember exactly what the production was last week, but it wasn't a whole lot for him, not by his own doing, but because of the situation and what was being called. He was so into that football game to the very end, even when, he didn't pout. He didn't get selfish. He was still just trying to win and cheering his teammate on. And I think that's something that's not always common when you have a young man of that talent. I think he runs physically. I think he is hard to tackle. I think him and Max are different runners, but it's such a nice compliment. Happy for him for getting in the end zone. Happy for him for his average, but what he did on the sideline last week when things weren't looking great, he cares about this football team, and I think that equals some real passion, some real just a mindset to when his opportunity comes to take advantage of it. And I'm happy for him.
All right, that's it for Coach Rolo.
Thanks, Coach. Guys. Congratulations to all Coug fans, and I appreciate that student section. That was awesome. So you guys have a good night.